Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me because it's very fucking noisy in here. So I'm going to take you through today a little bit of, well, I'll try and take you through as much as possible without fucking it being boring. And I do find like filming, you're good man. I do find if I watched a YouTube video, I would skip the training side of things. But a lot of people find it valuable, so hopefully you can take some tips from a few of the things that we're going to say. So I always like to, any session, I just like to warm up my shoulders with a band, just because it feels good. And we're going to start this session with like a neutral grip lat pull down, and then we're going to go into some RDL, so back and hamstrings today. And I kind of just throw some tips around as I go. Ooh. And what I like to do, guys, between like, a lot of people struggle to feel their back when they train. So for me, I like to do kind of some like scapular retraction. So my arms are kind of like fully extended, and then all I want to do is think about pulling my shoulder blades back and down. So shoulder blades pull back and down, and then it's kind of just a retraction. So it's a small movement just to kind of get those lats engaging and just to kind of feel them out, open up the kind of shoulder blades, get a little stretch, kind of like stretch things out. If there's feel a bit of stickiness, we can kind of like unsticky it in a sense. And then when you kind of get that engagement, you can do a nice pull through, stretch, engage. But honestly, back training, very simple. Scapula's engaged, pulling down, and then the elbows, force them into the hip, driving the elbows around the spine as hard as you can. And that applies to literally a pull down, a row, single arm, dual arm, you name it. Every single movement, guys, regardless of what it is, there'll always be 1 to 3 warm-up sets. But obviously, for being the first movement, it's kind of just probably about 3 warm-ups, really just kind of getting blood into the lats, opening up the shoulders and things like that, getting that connection and getting switched on for the session. So with those warm-up sets, I won't burn out. The heavier it gets to my working weight, I'll just reduce the reps. And one thing I promise you is that you'll see 70-80% of my reps, they'll look clean, they'll look like they have good technique. The other 20-30%, I don't give a fuck. I like having that 20-30% of just fuck you, just move the weight. As long as I'm safe and I can feel it, I'm fucking good. So that's it. Working set, guys, working set. Training is very good at the moment. Obviously just down to prep routine. Just everything's good. So I can't complain. And every session, there should be some form of progress made. Whether that is reps, whether that is weight. It doesn't have to be much, the tiniest amount. But people are very quick to jump to weight progressions, when in fact, progress can come from cleaner reps, better contractions, better tension, better time under tension, you name it. Progress can come in many forms. So as soon as you get to the top end of the rep range, don't fucking increase the weight. Get better at moving that weight for a few more weeks before you bump up. Increase your intensity. All right, guys, RDLs now. I've only done 1 fucking warm-up set and I'm leaking. So, intra-workout, EAAs and Hydromax, just because I sweat a lot and obviously it's 40-degree heat plus here in summer, so just got to make sure you're hydrated as fuck. So RDLs, obviously, big movement. I opt for dumbbells at the moment, just because I just don't connect very well with a barbell. There we go. I just don't connect very well with the barbell. And the belt squat that I used to use is gone. So I've opted for dumbbells. So I'll do probably 2 more warm-up sets here, and I'll go into that working set. All right, guys, working set. I think I got 8 reps last time. Oh fuck, I got 10. So I think these are the heaviest the dumbbells go. So obviously, for me, it's sometimes not about adding more reps on today. It's just getting better technique, doing all that sort of stuff. So better execution, whatever the fuck it may be. So again, I don't really overthink my training too much. As long as I can feel the connection, feel the contraction, I progress in some form, that's all I care about. If the goal for you is to drop body fat at the moment, do this. Don't sit down when you're training. Don't sit down between sets, stand up. Same reason why we track our step count. The reason we track our step count is that the lower food gets, our energy starts to go. Our body doesn't want to do as much. So the body tells itself, sit, stop, relax, put your feet up, you're getting fatigued. So the reason we track our steps is that it's self-awareness to keep moving. It's a non-negotiable throughout a dieting process, because the lower your food gets, the higher cardio gets, your body naturally is going to tell you to stop and slow down without you fucking knowing. So we have to be conscious of that and make sure we track those steps. It's a very small detail. Excuse me, guys. It's a very small detail, but pick your shoes wisely. Something that I didn't do today. If you're doing some form of like RDL, squat, or lunge, don't use running shoes. Running shoes will have a big squishy fucking foam pad at the bottom. No stability. If you're gonna do your leg day, RDLs, lunges, deadlifts, whatever that is, use Vans. I use those on my leg days, so Vans are very good. Or just some form of flat shoe. Or you could go barefoot. It's more stability in the ground. Just like when we build, when skyscrapers are built, they don't get built from the top down. Foundation. Build a strong foundation, footwear, set yourself in the ground, get secure in the ground. Take your time on the setup, build from the ground up. Oh, fuck me. All right, at least today's workout is a little bit shorter because that RDL fries the nervous system. So now we're gonna go do some chest supported row variations, rear delts, and seated hamstring curl. Chest supported row. Obviously coming off that lower back now, so yeah, less pressure off the lower back, going into the upper back now. So all we're going to do here, guys, is go on kind of this like top section, so where elbows are kind of flaring, going into the armpits instead of more like a lat focus, lat focus. So we're going to kind of go for that upper back T-bar row. Biggest thing here, just think about driving your elbows into your armpits. It's the easiest kind of cue. Everyone feels really guilty for walking in front of the camera. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. It's a public gym, guys. That's what I don't get. You know when you see all those fucking like people get pissed off when someone walks in front of the camera? You're like, it's a public gym, mate. Like, what do you expect? The camera's in a fucking footpath. That's it. All precious princesses. Ah, you're good, bud. It's nice though. People are respectful. It's cool. And if you don't already, figure of 8 straps. They're the one. None of those like fucking wrap around shit. Figure 8, you don't even have to grip on. It literally engage the upper back and drag those elbows back. And personally, what I think is probably one of the most beneficial things you can do is just track. You have to track your workouts, in my opinion. Like, not all the lifts, but you need to track a good kind of 60 to 70% of them for sure. Very simple, like how many reps and sets you should do, what did you get last week, what did you get this week. But even write down, if it was the same reps and weight, could it be a better contraction? Write down better contraction, write down smoother, felt lighter, whatever that is. So for example, I did 8 to 10 reps there. Last week I did 10 reps. It was actually an 8 to 10 rep range, but I wanted to like marinate it to make sure I really got 10, and I got 11. So it's perfect, right? So this back off set, I did 67, and so 67, one down, and I got 12 reps last week. So ideally, I just want a better 12 reps, a better quality 12 reps. If there's 13 there, I'll take it. But regardless of how many reps you have, whether that's 6 or 25, you should be training the muscle to failure. That is personally the best way to grow, and even for me, it is the best way to burn body fat, because I want to put as much stress on my muscles to keep growing at this stage where I'm at, obviously being assisted as well, to maintain the muscle, and vice versa, to really fucking burn as many calories I can through training performance, intensity, accuracy, and still muscle growth. Awkward position, but you get the idea of it. So rear delts, very simple aspect. I always like to set kind of the handle so it's kind of just above shoulder height, and it just aligns with my rear delts a lot better. I like to kind of get a good kind of scrunch over the top, so I kind of round my shoulders forward, and then all I think about is almost just driving my knuckles and pushing them to the outside of the room. So nice scapular retraction, stretch, drive. The rear delts are a tiny little muscle, so it's a small little pinch in the back of the shoulder. And on those rear delts, I always like to pulsate till failure, kind of get those partial reps on that last set till failure, just to kind of really get a nice stretch on them, just to take them just that little bit past failure. So now we're gonna head over, hit some seated hamstring curls, and yeah. Ooh, seated hamstring. One of the best things I've ever invested on is a seatbelt, purely for this matter. I always slide in and out of a seated hamstring curl, so this just helps lock you in a little bit more. Very simple here, guys. Should have said, with all like the sets and reps today, that I always pretty much work with kind of top sets and back off sets. So if that's 2 sets of 10 to 15, mostly the first set will be a heavier set, and then I'll back off slightly. Here, for example, I'm doing like a 10 to 12 rep range, and then I'll back off slightly for about 12 to 15 rep range. So it all kind of varies for muscle groups, anything along those lines. The longer you do this, you kind of realize that certain muscle groups respond a little bit better to different ranges, and that's obviously something that I work with my coach as well for Cam, that we work on. vice versa, the same for clients. Like, everyone is so unique in that matter, how they respond, and it takes time to learn someone. So, whoa. Oh, that felt a lot fucking heavier. So that was a little bit heavier on the rep range. That was a little bit heavier weight. I was on that old weight for a good kind of 2 weeks. So now I'll make sure I get that weight up on the rep range a little bit before bumping the weight up. Apologies, I just finished with single leg kind of standing curls. One set, 10 to 15, obviously on each leg. After I do just like that one leg, I'll do it as a rest pause. So rest 10 to 15 seconds, rep till failure, and I'll just do the other leg. So literally one working set with a rest pause. And that's literally it, guys. So that is kind of a back hamstring density day, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't know if I'll carry on this vlog into a bit of a rest day, whatever it is, see if that is, but if not, hope this take kind of tips from it, whatever that is. Little cues more than anything, because like throughout training, it's just little nuggets of information you start to take, or that moment it clicks with you and things like that. So I hope it helps, guys. And if not, I'll see you soon. If not, I'll see you in the next vlog.